The Young and the Restless Spoilers. The Abbott family has always been known for their deep bonds, but recent events have pushed that relationship to its breaking point. Jack Abbott, the patriarch of the family, has always held high expectations for his son Kyle, believing in his potential to one day lead Jabot Cosmetics. However, the latest revelation, that Kyle has betrayed his family by stealing a precious company formula and selling it to their longtime rival, Victor Newman, has shaken Jack to his core. The betrayal that broke the Abbott legacy. For years, Kyle has been seen as the heir to the Abbott legacy, someone who would eventually take over the reins of Jabot and continue the family's prestigious business. But that trust was shattered when Kyle's actions not only undermined the company, but also the very foundation of the family's bond. Selling Jabot's secret formula to Victor Newman, the Abbott family's sworn enemy, was more than just a business betrayal. It was a personal affront to everything Jack had fought for. The question on everyone's mind is, why would Kyle do such a thing? How could a son betray his own father, the man who has always stood by him? The answer lies in Kyle's desperate need to prove himself. For years, Kyle has struggled to step out of his father's shadow, always feeling as though his success was due more to his family name than his own abilities. By making this deal with Victor, Kyle believed he could finally assert his independence and show the world that he was capable of achieving success on his own terms. But in doing so, Kyle crossed a line that Jack cannot forgive. Diane's role in the fallout. In the midst of the turmoil, Diane Jenkins, Kyle's mother and Jack's current partner, played a crucial role in uncovering the truth. Diane has always had a complicated relationship with both Jack and Kyle, and her involvement in exposing Kyle's betrayal adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Diane confronted Kyle directly, accusing him of stealing the formula and selling it to Victor. But Kyle dismissed her warnings, too wrapped up in his own ambitions to see the danger in his actions. Jack, however, trusted Diane's instincts. When the truth came out, Jack's disappointment was overwhelming. This wasn't just a professional betrayal, it was personal. Kyle hadn't just sold a company secret, he had sold out his own family. Jack's punishment, a father's wrath. Jack has always been known as a tough but fair leader, both in business and in his personal life. But when it comes to his children, he has typically been more forgiving, always giving Kyle the benefit of the doubt. This time, however, Jack was not willing to look the other way. The betrayal was too great, the wound. In a rare moment of unfiltered anger, Jack decided to confront Kyle directly. The tension between father and son had been building for weeks, but this confrontation was unlike any they had ever experienced before. Jack, furious and heartbroken, demanded an explanation from Kyle, but his son was defiant, refusing to acknowledge the gravity of his actions. As the argument escalated, so did the emotions. Words turned into shouts, and soon the situation spiraled out of control. In a moment of raw emotion, Jack, unable to contain his rage any longer, struck his son. The punch wasn't just a physical blow, it was a symbol of everything that had been lost between them. For Jack, it was the culmination of years of frustration, disappointment, and unspoken resentment. For Kyle, it was a moment of reckoning, a painful reminder that his desire for recognition had come at too high a cost. Kyle's guilt and realization. Despite the anger and hurt, the punch seemed to snap something in Kyle. For the first time, he truly understood the gravity of what he had done. His father's punch was a wake-up call, forcing him to confront the fact that his actions had not only damaged the company, but had also torn apart the bond between them. Kyle had wanted to prove himself, to show the world that he was more than just Jack Abbott's son. But in doing so, he had destroyed the very relationship that mattered most. Kyle's anger was palpable, but so was his guilt. He knew that what he had done was wrong, but the damage had already been done. In his quest for validation, he had sacrificed his integrity and, worse, his family. Now faced with the reality of his choices, Kyle was left to pick up the pieces of a relationship that may never be mended. The ultimate rift, father and son become enemies. For the first time in their lives, Jack and Kyle are no longer just father and son, they are enemies. The once close bond between them has been shattered, and the fallout from their explosive argument has left both men wounded in ways that may never heal. Jack, despite his anger, is devastated by the turn of events. He had always hoped that Kyle would one day take over Jevet, continuing the family legacy and building on the foundation that he had worked so hard to create. But now, that dream feels impossible. Jack can't imagine ever trusting Kyle again, not after such a profound betrayal. The loss of trust is perhaps the hardest blow of all, and Jack is left wondering whether their relationship can ever be repaired. Kyle, on the other hand, is grappling with his own feelings of failure. In his quest to prove himself, he has alienated the very people who believed in him the most. The weight of his mistakes is heavy, and Kyle is left questioning whether he will ever be able to redeem himself in his